Do you have to start that? Start out. So I give it 4 minutes, and then we can get some practice with that. Then we get desperate. George? And Kevin,
So I'm Raj, co-founder and CEO of Social Calendar. Basically, we are and we want to be the place for birthdays and holidays. And as we were actually discussing a little bit earlier here, we basically want to be the hallmark for the Facebook and iPhone generation. And there are 3 things we'll see quickly. Reminders, virtual gifts for casual friends, and then social commerce around gifting for your family and close friends. This is the current process, which is very, as you can see, very difficult process. There are different pieces in the process: setting up birthdays, getting reminders, sending virtual gifts, or actually buying real gifts. They all actually happen at different places. And I think there is an opportunity to be a one-stop shop for birthdays and holidays. And basically what we say is it's easy to be thoughtful with Social Calendar. About Social Calendar, we have been around for some time when actually Facebook opened the platform. We actually today, we have about 740,000 unique monthly users. Our users have created 100 million birthdays and holidays in our database. And we send out about, I think, 5 million or 7.5 million email reminders each month, of which 2.5 million emails actually get opened with images displayed, which is very, very high open rate. And actually, it is the very, very sticky part of our product.
So how many emails do you send?
We send about 5 to 7.5, and actually 2.5 is actually...
So you have 30% open rate?
30 to 50%. Yeah. It's amazing. This is basically a very, very sticky part of the whole product. Basically, in the last 30 days, we have increased our MAUs. These are unique MAUs now. Facebook counts unique MAUs. They have actually increased from about 400,000 to about 740,000 in the last 30 days. And the trend is actually still going up. And I think we expect to be around 2.5 or 4 or 5 million by the end of the year. And also, we want to be ubiquitous. Right now, we're actually an app on Facebook. We also have a preliminary version of iPhone app, but we want to actually develop that further, and also want to have our own site at socialcalendar.com. These are basically the 2 markets that we are going after. One is the virtual goods, which is estimated to be about $2.1 billion in 2011. Our model is very similar actually to Fongle, where there are virtual goods. There are virtual goods that you can get for earning in the game, in the app, and then there are premium virtual goods that actually you pay using dollars. And I was surprised to find out real gifting is a $300 billion, very tough market to crack, but it's a very big market for the people who can actually crack it. And I believe we actually have a shot at it because of the advent of social networking and social platform and the reminders that we actually have. We recently actually went from free to freemium model just a few days ago, and there are days when we're actually able to do $1,000 a day in the virtual goods, and we do actually expect it to go to tens of thousands and hopefully down this year. These are some projections. We can actually discuss that in detail sometime. But both, I think, virtual goods and the social commerce around gifting, they are the promising areas for us. We'll actually focus a lot more on those. Interestingly, I say basically we want to be the hallmark for the Facebook and iPhone generation. Hallmark actually did invest in us. They invested $500,000 in us, and then we raised about $100,000 from a few angels. That's it.
Can you go back to your slide on projections?
Sure. is that I actually looked at the current ratios and proportions that we have today in reality, and tied most of the things to the MAUs, which are about, they were on an average 588,000 this month, and then try to project that to 2.5 and try to project that to 5, and maybe some improvement in the ratios and proportions. So, I mean, it is as good a guess as I could actually come up with, but basically I use the proportions that we have today and try to project them.
What's social commerce revenue? How do you define that?
So social commerce basically is if I know, for example, every time my mom asks me, what do I want for, my birthday. So we right now actually have built complete association with Amazon into our application.
Okay.
And I can tell my mom or my brother, for example, what I want, and then if they actually buy it.
So it's like an affiliate fee that you're
And I think our plans are to actually go deeper than that, but right now that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So the only comment I will make is the open rate is of the charts, so that's really good news because 36% is crazy good. I just feel that there must be something you need to try on the viral loop to grow from 500,000 now to 25 million at the end of the year and 100 at the end of next year, because that should be our target. Because, I mean, just growing 5 times where something like birthday is immediately viral, you should just grow like crazy. I mean, give that loop to Ed Baker and look at Facebook.
Actually, I mean, one of the problems that we have seriously is we do not have enough hardware, and anytime these things actually happen, and they do happen, our servers actually said there are few things that we actually want to do, we haven't done because we are afraid our servers actually
So
going to crash.
servers crashing are a high cost problem. That's the one you want to have, right? So I think there's a couple things, and I think you've got great traction here, and I think there's some tweaking too on the revenue side with that open rate that you have, the virality, with the the birthday concept and the gifting and all that. I would love to see what you're actually doing on the monetization side, because I think there's a huge opportunity there.
Absolutely, and actually Farmville is our role model, and I think we are actually getting very similar feedback from our users also in terms of the monetization. And I think to your point, George, we do actually think we can do significantly better, but it's better, I think, we project a little bit more conservatively and over-deliver.
Yeah, but that's really under selling the efficiency, like just say this way. So that's, that if I was brutal, I would say that might be showing a lack of ambition. Because I would see, and I'm not trying to give positive feedback. But I would really think that the number for December 2012 is like 100 million, because that's definitely what you should do.
Thanks for the feedback, actually. And as I said, projections are always a dangerous business, so.
Subscriptions, tell me about your subscription model. What I see subscription is I sign up and I subscribe to a gift going to Mom every Mother's Day, whatever birthday, and there's a certain fixed amount, and I know it's taken care of, I know what kind of flowers or chocolate she likes, it's done, right? I think James Hong had a similar company a while back called SaveMyAss.com. And I think it's brilliant, right? Because you've got the revenue, you've got the traction, you've got everything working on the social networks. And is that what you're talking about with subscription?
Both things,
or are you
everything's a la carte. People actually do today, particularly for their childhood friends and distant relations, relatives that they have, they actually tend to actually spend a lot of time on Facebook. So we actually have built a lot of the virtual gifts and virtual content, and that is by far right now the biggest, the most popular thing. We are also actually now talking to some companies like maybe Blackhawk, for example, where I could actually send somebody a $5 Starbucks gift certificate that he can actually enjoy right on the same day, even if the person actually is in Atlanta. So, and then the third one is basically, the wish list concept from, like, for example, Amazon, and I know what the other person wants, and I can actually ship through Amazon to that person. So there are 3 pieces to it.
When you said you launched subscription, I was just curious what is that?
We don't actually, subscription leaves a lot of the money on the table from the heavy users. So what we actually find is that we actually we have a la carte pricing, so premium model, and people actually buy, like on Farmville, you actually buy virtual goods, and we actually find some of our users who have spent like $200, $300 in the last few days and months, basically, So we're actually doing that. So we actually don't have the subscription model, which actually a lot of people have. Like Hallmark actually on Hallmark.com has a subscription model.
I misheard you then, I'm sorry. I thought you said you launched subscription.
So Roger, quick question. One part that's missing from your presentation is competition.
Yes.
And like, for example, Birthday Alarm has been out for a long time.
Yes.
Run by Michael Birch.
Yes, and actually Bebo came out of it.
And Bebo came out of it. And you know, when I talked to Michael about 8 years ago, it was like a $5 million run rate. I don't know what you meant exactly by that, but total.
Yeah.
So, what percentage of market share of birthday alerting are you right now?
We are actually one of the, I would say, the top 2 apps, at least in the Facebook space. One is our social calendar, and another is actually birthday calendar. I don't know what birthday calendar does. Every week, basically, their numbers actually spike up, but on a day-to-day basis, we are actually bigger than them. And in terms of the ratings, we actually have like a 4.8 out of 5 rating. Users really love us, basically. And Hallmark also actually considered us to invest, and they also actually gave us some of their content that we actually sell to our users on Facebook. So we are one of the, I would say, leading apps for sure.
And why is this a good standalone business? I mean, it seems like if you're going to be producing 100 or 200 million revenue, Facebook will wake up and say, we know everyone's birthdays. Why don't we just be the point of presence of reselling?
So I think Facebook actually, by the way, did try to do virtual gifts, and they actually closed that business because they didn't want to be in the content business, and I think we are actually in a content business, like Palm is. So I think they want to be platform, they actually want to take 30% back from all the Facebook credits, but they don't necessarily want to start creating games. That's at least my hope. And I think that's where we actually have a shop.
I hope it's not screaming right.
I would address that in the presentation.
Oh. One more question?
Yeah, what's going to be your biggest challenge, you think, in scaling over the next 2 years?
Actually, the biggest challenge for us always has been scaling the infrastructure. We actually know better viral loops that we can actually use today.
Right. But shouldn't the infrastructure, if you're using, like AWS and, all these alerts, you should be able to know ahead of time, right, and scale infrastructure up dynamically throughout the calendar year, right? So as major holidays come up, as you look forward with the reminders, you should be able to anticipate, right? Like your infrastructure should be very elastic based on that.
Yes, absolutely. Architecture-wise, we actually said it's actually always the money which kind of has lagged behind where our traction has been. So far we have built this with 600,000, and we are trying to raise one more round now. And I think we actually would kick in some of the viral loops once we actually have that infrastructure in place.
What's the team size?
So we have a team of 3 founders. So me, David Jordan, who's from Stanford, and Jennifer Chang from Stanford. We're all in Cupertino. And we have a team of 10 very, very good developers, our own team in India. Okay. So that's how we have been able to actually keep the cost down.
Okay, thanks.
Good job.
Thank you.
If this was in your space, would you take a meeting?
Sure, yeah.
And I can join email, and I can see the manager.